Hey guys, and welcome to another video on this channel. I'm really sorry that I haven't uploaded for so long, but I had my final exams in the past few weeks, so I didn't really have time to cut any videos. However, let's not talk for too long, and trust me, this one is going to get spicy. But before we start out into the video, I'd like to get your attention to quickly show you guys this great ARK server. It's called Beginners Next Gen, and if you're looking for the OG ARK 2017 primitive vibe, but still want to have some enjoyable PvP with an active player base, this is the perfect place for you. First off, the server works solely with plugins. The max player level is 68 and max dino spawn level is 60. It also has the usual things like ORP and quality of life plugins, as well as some very balanced and well done settings. Map and tribe size are being voted each wipe by the community, so you guys can actually influence your gaming experience. So if you're looking for the good old ARK primitive PvP experience, like back in the good old days, make sure to join the Discord down below in the description and get ready for the next big wipe tomorrow on May 9th. Now that I had my cave teched out, I felt way safer than I should have and decided to go out and check what had killed me in front of my base last episode. Now that I saw that the enemy fob was really just a badly built starter kit, I knew I could wipe that thing with these. And as I was just about to leave the cave, this happened. I instantly tried to grapple him into my turrets, but after seeing me, he just left. After a while, it seemed like the guys had just randomly decided to go offline, so I prepared myself and took the opportunity to wipe their starter. As you could see, I only used a random 34 HP unimprinted shitstagger I had laying around, but since I was only able to destroy the first of two generators, I quickly grabbed another one and headed out to finish the job. As I arrived at the gen, most of the turrets had already been sold, but I didn't care, I just wanted these turrets away from my circle cave. After getting rid of the last defenses, I quickly blew the bats, killed the player and got to looting my old kit, but somebody didn't seem to be quite fine with that. After his Fabi had two-shot my flag, I already knew that this guy was gonna have some much better stuff than me. So I re-kitted and headed back out in hopes of getting my kit and some of the raid's loot back into my cave. I hopped on a stego in order to not get beamed by his Fabi, and as I noticed that he wasn't there anymore, I killed the stalkers, looted my kits back, blew up more of the base, and stashed all the loot into my stego. Suddenly, he came back and netted my stego. I knew that I still had a bunch of loot on me and that he couldn't kill the stego quickly enough, so I ran into my cave and stashed all the loot. After doing that, I headed out again in order to blow up the remains of the base and get my tames back. And as I was just about to blow the remaining turrets, the guy just spawned behind me.
Hello, motherfucker!
After this jump scare, I quickly grabbed my stegos and went ahead looting when he came back once again. By the way guys, this is me from the editing right now. And how the fuck did he miss this net, bro? I wasn't even moving. When he then hit me with his net, I realized that I couldn't net him and remembered that I actually had a good Fabby laying around somewhere in my basement. So I quickly went and grabbed the Fabby, but as I came out the guy had already left, so I sadly didn't get to shit on him. He must have been scared as fuck though, so I just proceeded blowing the fog. Holy, I always love such big explosions in ARK. What about you? What do you think is the most satisfying thing in the entirety of ARK? Feel free to write it in the comments, but don't tune off yet because there's so much more to come. Trust me guys, it's only going to become better from here on. Next up I hit a quick charcoal run and then went on a huge taming spree to prepare for some raids. I ended up getting multiple Daedons and Maywings as well as a UT, and as I was just about to get myself some Mantis, this happened. As you can imagine, I was fucking fuming. I had been taming for the last 2 hours or so and had now lost everything. To compensate that, I actually decided to go scout some raids and actually found an insane Rathole base on Fjordor, which you're gonna see later. So I started preparing for the raid and did some more breeding and actually ended up building an entirely new floor in my breeding room. I then ended up doing another trade for a 62 melee Mantis, which was insane for base defense, prepared some dinos and got the fog ready to transfer over to Valguero to go kick some ass. As I spawned in on Valguero, I could actually use our old starter base's beds since the Rathole was right next to it. I quickly set up a basic gen box next to the Rathole, and here it is guys. Take a look at that shit. An entrance so small you can only fit in, not out, even as a player, and an entire tech wall inside of it. This was one of the craziest Ratholes I had ever seen. I already knew that I was gonna have to find an angle to tech rifle or cluster nade from, but with the ORP, one hitting my flag every time, this was way harder than I thought. But then I found it, the jackpot. Some parts of the wall were poking out the side of the Rathole, so I could easily take down some turrets to get a tech rifle angle. After I had dropped this, the wall already looked way more raidable, since an entire row of about 6 heavy turrets had now vanished. I now went ahead looking for a new cluster nade angle and actually found out that I could already stand halfway inside of the entrance without getting shot, which made it way easier for me to find an angle. This enabled me to slowly rifle down row for row of the wall in a tedious hour-long process which I won't show you guys simply because it's too boring. However, after a few hours of rifling, I decided to try dropping some tames in, but they got absolutely smacked by the ORP, which showed me that I was gonna have to sit there and rifle for even longer. After some more hours of rifling, I actually found an angle to soak from, but the ORP damage was just too crazy for it to be worth it all. After some more time, I had made a bunch more progress and actually found an angle to ghost soak a tech turret. At this point, I was also already preparing to throw racers into the Rathole to line of sight some turrets. Here's another look at the turret wall around 4 hours into the raid. At this point, I had thought that I might have found the perfect grenade angle, but in the end, I just blew my own butt off the castle. By now, around 5 hours into the raid, you can actually see that I'm near the left end of the wall. This means that I'll soon be able to throw tames into the Rathole and finish the raid, which I really wanted to do at this point, since it was 4 AM on a Monday morning and I would have school in 4 hours. Because I was slowly losing patience and also my sanity, I decided to throw in a test per racer, and it still got absolutely deleted by the few turrets that were left. After some time, I actually found a grenade angle that damaged the top row of the remaining turrets. So I spammed the nades in like an absolute maniac, and sometimes a random grenade would even get through and blow up the entire back. After destroying 1 or 2 more turrets, I decided it was time for the good old giraffes again, and I tried getting them into the Rathole. And to my surprise, they didn't get shot once they landed on the floor. I then let it soak one of the tech turrets, and as soon as it died I knew this was my time, since it blocked a bunch of turrets with its dead body. So I got myself some racers and tech grenades and decided to throw them into the Rathole as well. The racer actually soaked a good amount, but sadly the tech nades still didn't get me far. When the racer died, however, it once again blocked a load of turrets, which made it easier for me to progress. Following that, I actually got another very good grenade angle with which I dropped some of the most annoying turrets. Now that the last turrets were slowly fading away, just like my mental health during this raid, I would soon be able to finish the entire thing off. I was now finally at the last turret and only had to tech rifle this one last foundation to destroy the heavy turret. I could now finally enter the Rathole, and as I was just about to destroy the back wall and all the turrets with it, this happened. This was probably the most painful death of the entire wipe. I was inside the enemy base with all my raid equipment and just a slither away from finally finishing the raid. But I don't give up, guys. That's nothing you can afford to do as a solo in ARK. So I re-geared on Lost Island and went in for one final strike. First, I threw a stego in for safety. Then I jumped into the spot. Next up, I picked up my old kit and dropped myself down into the shark tank. I didn't know from where I could get shot, so I hopped onto my stego to get a first overview. And there was only one turret left in the last corner of the base, and I went to get it. I used a dead stego's body, and after some throws, I finally broke the turret. Ladies and gentlemen, we were in. I went ahead and stole one of the enemy's ARKs to destroy their base and claim it for myself. The loot was absolutely juicy. They had a shitload of VPs and lines. But while I was looting, the base owner came online and said I was gonna get banned. It was around 5:30 AM and I just wanted to go to sleep, and when I went to play ARK the next day, I was actually banned. For meshing. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you liked this entire series. Let me know if you want to see more ARK content here on the channel, and most importantly guys, stay happy.